Joplin for Justice is celebrating a year as an organization. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with the progress that they've made and what they hope to do moving forward.
With warmer weather comes more opportunities to get in the water. We've got some safety tips before you head out. A federal judge overturns California's 3-decades-old ban on assault weapons.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin for Justice is celebrating 1 year as an organization. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Chris Warner. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky tells us what the group has accomplished in a year and what they hope to do more of in the future.
We're out here celebrating 1 year of Joplin for Justice and also honoring the lives that have been lost at the hands of the police.
Joplin for Justice has been around for 1 year now, and in that time, they've built a platform for the community to come together.
So we hear all the time that there really wasn't a progressive platform like this for people to come to. And so we do think that this is unique for Joplin and an important thing for us to have.
Saturday's event for the group showcased some of their recent achievements, such as changes being made in Joplin.
We released the policy assessment for the Joplin Police Department, which has started a lot of conversations. And the following week, the City of Joplin actually announced that they will initiate a diversity, equity, and inclusion committee for our city.
And while today's event is a celebration of what the group has accomplished so far, their work isn't over.
We still have a lot of work to be done. What I hope to see in the coming years is I'd like to see more things done for our homeless. Because every day when I drive down the street, I see a lot of people on the streets begging for help.
With a year under their belt, the organization says they plan to continue educating themselves and growing as a group.
Moving forward, we just hope to continue to grow in support and grow in influence, and also continue to educate ourselves on how to support our community to be more welcoming.
Now, they say they will continue to engage in conversations with the community and continue promoting inclusion in the area. In Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
To learn more about Joplin for Justice, they say you can find them on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. A Pittsburgh man is dead and another seriously injured following a crash on US 69 in Crawford County. The crash occurred around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. Officials with the Kansas Highway Patrol say 66-year-old Michael Simones was killed when the car he was driving crossed the center line and struck the driver's side of another car. The driver of the other car, 68-year-old John Lowe, was taken to Overland Park Regional Hospital with serious injuries. The crash occurred on US 69 a little over 9 miles north of K47. A few pop-up showers out there, but otherwise a much more summer-like day in the area, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. Despite those rain chances that tried to percolate in a few spots, we were able to keep things warm as we continue through this weekend. 63 a mild start this morning, but a nice jump to 83. And funny enough, that's exactly where we should be early in the month of June. The Skywatch Storm Tracker still showing a few dying showers around Stockton Lake, and let's say between Uniontown and Fort Scott and Bourbon County. Maybe you could argue just the slightest sprinkle, let's say close to Baxter Springs. But mostly cloudy skies are going to stay in place for tonight thanks to our main storm system spinning across the Kansas, make that Texas-Oklahoma border, and that's going to be a role in our forecast certainly for the next few days. At least we're still mild with everybody in the lower 70s right now. Quick look at the day ahead shows mostly cloudy skies overnight, but will be dry as lows drop to 66. But once we get into the afternoon, we warm back up, but so will the thunderstorm chances. They'll return with highs back near 80, Chris. We'll see if we can keep up with the warmth and the rain chances too for the week ahead here in a bit.
All right, Nick, thank you. And as Nick mentioned, the weather continues to warm up, so that means a few more people may be heading to the water to cool off. But before jumping in the water, it's important to make sure you're being safe. Now, this includes wearing the correct gear and knowing the right techniques. So we spoke with paddleboarding instructors and paddle boarders themselves on the importance of staying safe while enjoying that particular activity.
I think it is very important to let people understand safety gear is very important on this river. You know, any waterway, you can see we've got life jackets, we've got our helmets on. It's just water is a powerful force and sometimes you can't mess with it.
With how to get back on the board if you fall, or maybe what to do in a bad situation.
Instructors say the safest place to be when in the water is in one's board or on one's board, and make sure that everyone knows the fastest way to get back on should they fall off. The Carthage Business Expo was underway earlier today, and they made a few changes this year. One of those changes is it was held outdoors at Central Park. The expo features a number of Carthage area businesses as well as a home show. The other big change this year, the addition of a job fair, working to connect employers with potential employees.
Oh man, it's exciting because what's awesome is we're giving a shirt away at this event, and then the next couple of weeks we'll see that shirt out in the community. It's like, man, it makes us feel proud that people are wearing the product that we put out. So it's exciting to see that, and it's also exciting to just make new connections and to establish friendships. So one thing that we try to do is we want to establish a relationship with people and with businesses, and not just a one-time sale.
This year's theme was Through the Decades. California Governor Gavin Newsom is slamming a federal judge's ruling that overturns the state's 3-decade-old ban on assault weapons. He calls it, quote, a direct threat to public safety. CBS's Lilia Luciano is in Culver City, California with the latest.
Judge Roger Benitez called the 1989 ban on assault weapons a failed experiment. His ruling pleased the plaintiffs, including a group of San Diego gun owners.
Really glad that he reaffirmed that our right to keep and bear arms is rock solid even here in California.
But the judge drew sharp criticism after likening the AR-15 rifle to a Swiss Army knife, writing it is good for both home and battle. California Governor Gavin Newsom condemned the comparison as a slap in the face to the families who have lost loved ones to this weapon. AR-15 style weapons have been used in many mass shootings, with critics charging it's a weapon of mass murder. But America is arming up. Gun sales surged nationwide over the last year. 1/5 of buyers, first-time gun owners. 39% of American households currently own guns, up from 32% in 2016. Judge Benitez's ruling won't take effect for another 30 days, giving California's Attorney General time to appeal. Lilia Luciano, CBS News, Los Angeles.
We take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Private Chester Bishop served in the Army with the 8th Infantry Pathfinders during World War II, having participated in the Battle of Normandy and the Battle of the Bulge, among others. His hometown, Iola. We are proud to recognize Private Chester Bishop, tonight's four-state hero. And remember, you can learn more about all of our heroes or even nominate one of your own at KOAMNewsNow.com. And that is a look at our top stories and a quick check of that forecast on the KOAM News at 10. Still ahead, former President Donald Trump is set to speak at a GOP convention in North Carolina. Plus, the Department of Justice makes a ruling regarding journalists and their records. Former President Trump addressed supporters Saturday night at the North Carolina Republican Party's 2021 convention in Greenville. His speech comes amid swirling speculation over whether Mr. Trump will run for the White House again in 2024. CBS News correspondent Michael George reports from New York.
After spending months on the sidelines, former President Trump returned to the political stage Saturday night.
As we gather tonight, our country is being destroyed before our very own eyes. Crime is exploding. Police departments are being ripped apart and defunded. Can you believe that? Is that good politics, defund our police?
In his speech to North Carolina Republicans, the former president made his first public remarks since February, after being banned from major social media platforms following the January 6th attack on the Capitol. He's issued a number of statements. Facebook on Friday extended that suspension until at least 2023. That's just before the next presidential election. In addition to criticizing Democrats in President Biden's first months in office, former President Trump reminded supporters of his efforts at getting the COVID-19 vaccine effort off the ground.
We bought billions and billions of dollars worth of vaccine and all forms of getting that vaccine into your body, the needles, the bottles, the whole thing. And one of the things I'm most proud about is we did the vaccine, developed the vaccine, and I pushed the FDA.
In Greenville, the former president looked at the political roadmap ahead.
We're going to lay the groundwork for making sure that Republicans once again carry the great state of North Carolina in a number, a year that I look very much forward to, 2024.
The speech comes as the former president continues to hint that he might run again in 2024. Michael George, CBS News.
Saturday night's speech in North Carolina is widely expected to be the first in a new phase of rallies and public events for the former president. The Department of Justice will no longer seize reporters' records to investigate leaks from within the agency. A new statement released by the DOJ announced the change to its practice Saturday. In part, the DOJ letter said, quote, "Going forward, consistent with the president's direction, this Department of Justice, in a change to its long-standing practice, will not seek compulsory legal process in leak investigations to obtain source information from members of the news media doing their jobs." Now, the disclosure was the latest in a series of revelations about the Justice Department secretly obtaining records from journalists to uncover leaks. More than 200 firefighters battled a massive 6-alarm fire in Phoenix Saturday. The Phoenix Fire Department is calling the turnout the largest response in its history. The blaze engulfed 5 large commercial buildings and multiple recycling yards. Smoke from the highly flammable recycling materials was visible for miles, and adding to the difficulty of fighting a fire of this size, the forecast high in Phoenix was 107 degrees today. Crews had to be rotated regularly to keep firefighters from suffering from heat stroke. There's no word on what triggered the blaze. In Nicaragua, police have detained opposition presidential candidate Arturo Cruz today. Now, the Nicaraguan National Police say Cruz was arrested for committing acts that threaten national sovereignty. Meanwhile, the Nicaraguan Center for Human Rights has condemned what it called an arbitrary detention, and Cruz's political party has called for his release. Cruz is the second presidential candidate to be detained in just a week after opposition leader Cristiana Chamorro was placed under house arrest Thursday. Both Cruz and Chamorro intend to challenge Nicaragua's President Daniel Ortega, who is seeking a 4th term in the November 7th elections. Well, still ahead on the KOAM News at 10, a ball hitches a ride on a train.
First, we'll break down the week ahead of us, which will include warm temperatures and more rain chances. We'll get to that next. We had a pretty nice start to our Saturday before the partly cloudy skies billowed up, and for some it led to a few showers, maybe a few heavy showers at that. But at least from Indigo Sky Casino and Resort outside of Seneca, Missouri, can't deny how that was pretty quiet time lapse throughout the course of the day. Again, mostly sunny skies to start before the cloud cover built up. You can see on the Skywatch storm tracker some spots underneath that cloud cover did lead to let's say some random showers, maybe a random clap of thunder or two. In general, though, this is what we usually expect to start the late spring, early summer around here, where with the heating of the day and the humidity too, scattered showers, maybe a few storms billow up, but the heating of the day that we've lost, they're dying off as we speak. So in general, we're going to keep things pretty quiet as we go through the rest of the night. As far as temperatures go, similar to yesterday, lower 80s yesterday afternoon, lower 60s this morning, and back into the lower 80s, at least at Joplin Regional, and everybody did well in terms of temperatures today. Warm, but not oppressively warm. Still looking quiet from 7th and Range Line, 72 at the airport, southeast breeze at 6. Humidity's trying to climb back up at 76%, but thankfully it's not too terribly high. Lower 70s across the board as we knock on the door at 10:19 on this Saturday night. Again, the few random showers that we had out there continue to fall apart. So again, thinking we'll stay dry throughout the overnight, but we have more Gulf moisture being pulled in from the south thanks to high pressure at the surface, even though it's way to our east over the Carolinas. Clockwise flows, keeping that southeasterly and southerly breeze in place to help continue to bring in the moisture. But the upper levels, that's the key here. This upper low along the Texas-Oklahoma border, it's cut off from the jet. Usually you want the jet to grab this and quickly move this along, but since it's cut off, this is slowly going to wander over the next 3 or 4 days as we go into next week. So this keeps us mostly cloudy as we go through the overnight. But again, we're dry to start your Sunday morning out. And as a result, we'll see this is a mild start with most of us back in the mid-60s, pushing mid to upper 70s for Sunday afternoon to start things out. Afternoon highs pushing near 80. But again, like today, we'll watch for some scattered showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms too. But if anything pops up, they'll stay below severe levels, but we can't rule out some pockets of heavy rain. 66 in the morning, 76 by noon, highs around 80. Once we lose the heating of the day Sunday night, we'll quiet down for your Monday morning, staying mild with lows in the mid-60s, and then back into the lower 80s with another shot for scattered storms on our Monday. But as we go through Tuesday and Wednesday, this stubborn upper level low will drift to the north and to the east. That will gradually taper off on our rain chances, but as long as this upper ridge is still around and any energy running around the ridge could try and clip us, we're not going to rule out a few random thunderstorms, especially by the time next weekend gets going. But as long as we're underneath that ridge, look at our temperatures. 80 tomorrow, lower 80s Monday, mid 80s through Wednesday, pushing upper 80s to almost 90 by Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Chris.
It's hard to believe where we were, just a week ago in the 60s.
I know, we started out June in the mid-60s.
And here we are now almost to 90 degrees.
Yeah.
It's like they say, if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, it took a while, but definitely feels like summer now.
All right, Nick, thank you so much. Well, Pittsburgh State hosting a football camp for some area high schools.
Yeah, Chris, lots of schools out there today, and it was really hot, but good to see some of those athletes back on the field and preparing for the fall. The Outlaws are back in action tonight, hosting a rematch against Peak Prospects. Those highlights and more coming up. Today kicks off a 3-day football camp hosted by Brian Wright and the Pittsburgh State coaching staff. High school teams from local area schools including Pittsburgh, Columbus, Carthage, and Field Kindley are in attendance. The camp gives the PSU staff an opportunity to evaluate the local talent, and for the athletes, they get to showcase their skills to the college coaches. We caught up with Field Kindley head coach Deontay Wade, who says the camp will be a measuring stick for his squad. He expects these early reps to pay off come the fall.
They're excited. They're on the ride over. It was just they were hyped. They're ready to go for the opportunity. But it's going to be a wake-up call because we haven't done anything football-related since November, I think it was. I just want them to see where we currently stand, and good, bad, and different. We still got to get better, and so they see what it takes because there's some really good programs here who've had some success and are building and continuing success, and we get to go compete against them, so it should be fun for us.
Former Fort Scott Tiger Caleb Delatorre has an impressive day at the plate today. Now at South Alabama, Delatorre went 4 for 5 with a home run and 3 RBI in the Jaguars regional game against the Gators. South Alabama smoked number 14 seeded Florida 19-1 in an important elimination game. The Joplin Outlaws won their season opener against Des Moines on Friday. Tonight is a rematch. Callan Protaski gets all of this one, sends it over the left field fence. Outlaws lead 1-0. Protaski putting in the work on defense. He gets the out at home here, and then he does it one more time. Grounder to third gets sent back home. The Outlaws keep their 1-run lead. In the fourth, Lawson Faria sends it out to second. That brings in Cade Lott. Joplin up 2. The next inning, Jaron Toller pops it up. Fielder can't get there, and that allows Ethan Lopez to round third and slide home. Outlaws win 5-1 and start the season 2-0. In the majors, the Cardinals are just 1.5 games back from the division-leading Cubs, but St. Louis has dropped their last 3 games. Tonight, they'll try and pick up their first win in their series against Cincinnati. The Cardinals down 2-1 in the fourth. Yadier Molina gets hit on the knee with a foul ball, and he'll leave the game. Bottom 4, Nolan Arenado with a base hit. Paul Goldschmidt scores to tie it up at 2. Arenado goes 3 for 4 today. And then some nice defense in the 7th. Cincinnati up 5-2. Tommy Edman makes a diving catch to keep it a 3-run game. St. Louis can't pull off the comeback though. They fall 5-2. The Royals are looking for their 6th straight win tonight. Kansas City took the first 2 games of their series against Minnesota, including Friday night's 14-5 win that featured 9 runs for the Royals in the very first inning alone. Kansas City looking to keep the bats hot tonight. Whit Merrifield back up the middle, and that will score 2 for the Royals. The game, then Kansas City trailing again by 1. Here's Andrew Benintendi going deep, a 2-run home run to give the Royals their first lead. In the 6th, the Twins now with a 2-run blast. 3 homers for Minnesota in the ball game. The Royals dropped this one 5-4, snapping their 5-game win streak.
You know, we were talking about this before, where the Royals and even the Cardinals have been on this up and down thing, and both of them not doing so well tonight, and Yadier not doing so well tonight.
Yeah, he's got actually a bruise on his knee. They're saying he is day-to-day, so we'll try and keep updated with that.
All right, Danny, thank you so much. We're going to be right back after this. So it's not often that I really get to talk about something sports-related, but take a look at this. In Friday night's Rochester Red Wings / Worcester Red Sox game, Worcester's Johan Miesis hit a 435-foot home run that hit a moving train beyond the left field wall at Polar Park. That's not something that happens all the time. There he goes, and here it goes, and there's that train passing at just the right time. The ball hitching a ride on out of here. Nothing quite like that, though, happening close to home, Danny.
Well, we do have quite a few train tracks around here,
That
so
is
I might
true.
see it one day soon.
Final note in sports.
Yeah, we got Cards, Royals, and Outlaws all playing again tomorrow, so Cards and Royals looking to bounce back after their losses today.
Hopefully they do. Nick, temperature's bouncing back.
Yeah, maybe a little cooler tomorrow, but still warm. We'll see highs around 80. We'll watch for some random storms again tomorrow. Rain chances just about each and every day throughout the week, but we'll keep highs warm in the 80s.
All right, Nick, Danny, thank you. And that's our time for now. And remember, KOAM is available anytime online at KOAMnewsnow.com and with the KOAM News Now in the app. Thanks for making us part of your night.